This podcast is brought to you by Quip. When was the last time you got rewarded for brushing your teeth? With Quip's new smart electric toothbrush, good habits can earn you great perks like free products, gift cards, and more. I love that technology can keep me healthier. I do it with my walking. I do it with my heart rate variable. I do it with my sleep. Why not do it with your teeth? You've probably heard me talk about Quip a million times, but this is something brand new that rewards you and your mouth. The Quip Smart Brush for adults and kids connects to the Quip app with Bluetooth and tracks when and how well you brush your teeth, gives you tips and coaching on how to improve your habits. You earn points for daily brushing, bonus points for completing challenges like streaks. And you can redeem rewards like free products, gift cards, and discounts from Quip and their partners. Do you already have a Quip? I already have 3 or 4 Quips. I take one on the road, one's on the tour bus, one's in my backpack, one's on the mirror in my bathroom. Upgrade it with a smart motor and keep the features you know and love. Sensitive sonic vibrations with a 2-minute timer with 30-second pulses for a guided, clean feel. Slim, lightweight, sleek, no wires, no bulky chargers to weigh you down. Multi-use travel cover that doubles as a mirror mount. That's what I use. Beyond that, they build you a great routine for brushing your teeth. And I have to say, my favorite thing that Quip has is toothpaste. Their toothpaste is through the roof. They have mint watermelon with anti-cavity ingredients for strong, healthy teeth. Floss that expands to clean and comes in refillable dispenser to reduce waste. I'm telling you, man, join over the 5 million mouths who use Quip and save hundreds compared to the other Bluetooth brushes when you get a Quip Smart Brush for just $45. Start getting rewards for brushing your teeth today. Go to getquip.com/Bertcast right now to get your first refill for free. That's your first refill free at getquip.com/Bertcast. GETQUIP.com/Bertcast. Quip. Better oral health made simple and rewarding. Hey guys, brand new Bertcast. I have sad news. The Reno date that we had scheduled for the 20th of November has been canceled. I just got news today that with COVID restrictions, it made it next to impossible to accommodate everyone that had bought tickets. So I apologize. We're going to reschedule that for February. I think I'll be back in Reno in February. And right now we're still on for the 28th and 29th or 27th in San Marcos, Escondidos, down by San Diego. You know where it is. Go to Bert.com. New Two Bears, One Cave is up. New Bill Bert is up. And that's all. I don't think I really have. Oh, check out my show, The Cabin, streaming right now on Netflix. If you haven't watched it yet, watch it, enjoy it. Share it with a friend. Tell some friends about it. This episode of the podcast is with Cabin star Donnell Rawlings. Donnell Rawlings was on, I don't know which episode, the one with Bobby Lee and me and him, and it was awesome. We talk about the shit that was edited out, and it was a lot. And we talk, I can talk to Donnell forever, man. I've known Donnell for a long time. He is just like me, man. We're just there for the joke, just there for funny, just there to have a good time, party, and have a blast. His podcast, The Donnell Rawlings Show, is available anywhere you get podcasts, and it's a great podcast. I listened to them talk about The Cabin we did with Bobby Lee about coffee enemas. We did coffee enemas on The Cabin. If you haven't watched Cabin, I would definitely highly recommend The Cabin. We didn't even talk about, I've had him on before. You should check out other episodes. Honestly, Donnell is the easiest dude to talk to in the entire world. We talk about Andrew Yang. I'm curious about Andrew Yang because I see him everywhere right now. And I'm like, damn, man, did we make a fucking misstep? We talk about, is America ready for is America ready for a gay president, an Asian president, or a black female president, or a socialist? We don't talk politics. We just bullshit, So I hope you guys really enjoy the episode. Leanne has had a target date, December 1st, in the new podcast studio. That is her target date. She is emptying out this man cave and moving it into the podcast studio. And we will be doing podcasts there and stepping up our motherfucking game. And I will have Donnell back in when we're in there. Donnell will be back in. Joel McHale's going to be back in. All the people that we did on these Zooms, I'm bringing them back in, and we're going to hang out in person the way I know I love hearing podcasts and the way I know you love hearing podcasts. But in the meantime, get back for a banger. This is a great podcast with my buddy, my friend. Oh, we also talk about Chappelle in this. Ladies and gentlemen, stand-up comedian, podcaster, actor, Donnell Rawlings.
He's the man, the myth, the legend.
the matter?
No, I fucking hurt my finger, man. My thumb is fucking swollen. I gotta come here. Come here, girl. Come here. I got a new addition. Come here. Come here, Maggie. Come here. Come here, Maggie. So your boy's still trying to win, huh?
Why has he got to be my boy?
The same reason why Obama was my boy, motherfucker. Yo, you talking about why has he got to be your boy? Every time, it's so funny. This shit is I don't know what's going to happen, but I said it's been the most entertaining television I've seen in a long time, son.
It's been crazy. Did you watch the Tuesday night? Did you stay up and watch?
Yeah, with the results coming in and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But that wasn't, I watched it Tuesday, and then I kept on fucking, I kept waking up like it was up and it was down. It was up and it was down. And it was like up and it's down. And then niggas start having flashbacks of 16 and shit, right? And I'm going to tell you, I don't have, Bert, I don't have an emotion, man. I promised myself there is no way to get your emotions involved, because if you do, your feelings going to get hurt. And it's just so the fucked up thing about it, no matter who wins, it's going to be half of America that says it's fucked up.
Literally half. It is half of America.
It is half of America that's going to be like, it's just fucked up,
It's crazy when you see like the voting differences by 8,000 people in a state, and you're like, shut the fuck up.
My fucking population in my high school was 3,000, motherfucker. I mean, but then you know what? When you get those numbers, Bert, it makes you really realize how important your vote is.
Yeah. Well,
because this fuck around in history where it comes down to one person.
Dude, when I was on the X show, this is when Bush and Florida happened. I went on the X show. That was like my late night TV show, and I was bragging that I wasn't going to vote. I was like, my vote doesn't count. My vote doesn't count. And then it came down to Florida, where it was hundreds of votes that mattered. Right. And I was like, oh shit, I had a write-in vote in Florida. They're like, your vote, but then fucking whatever, you get one vote.
But here's the thing, Bert. Next election, I'm investing into I voted stickers.
That's where you're gonna make your money.
Yo, I'm telling you, man, a lot of people don't want to go to poll. They want to get that goddamn sticker, son. So just fucking sell them. We can get them blamed out.
My wife got fucking catty about it because we did write-in votes and mail-in votes. And so I got the sticker, and my daughter grabbed my sticker, and my wife's like, whoa. You don't get that sticker until you're 18.
Exactly.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I didn't know the sticker was going to be in there. I was like, oh, shit. And I'm so petty. I was like, now I know I'm not voting.
No, you shouldn't give me the sticker. I gotta earn the sticker.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. I told people, man, like it's like World Series Game 7, right? The people that make hats are going to take a loss. The people that make those championship hats, they're going to take a loss because somebody lose. They ready for both of them. I know they're like, fuck, man, we got to take this half and half deal, man.
Time to send these hats to Tanzania.
Hell yeah, son.
Hey, what was Andrew Yang like?
He was amazing, bro. He was so impressive. And the thing about it is like, and I'm pretty sure you've been around money your entire life, but to be around somebody that just thinks that much about the world and is that successful and just a regular motherfucker. Yeah. Like when we were in Yellow Springs, I would have these late night barbecues and shit, right? At the little bed and breakfast. I had the whole bed and breakfast. We had a banging ass grill and shit out there. And then I was in the kitchen cooking and shit. And at 2:45, I turn around and fucking Andrew Yang is like, yo, Donnell, can I get another one of those deviled eggs? And then his campaign manager would come back and hang out with us. And he was telling us how that's like almost every day Andrew Yang talks about that hanging in Yellow Springs and hanging out with us. He's dope.
It was interesting. It was interesting when I thought when they were coming up with this election because they had a gay dude, an Asian dude, a socialist. Like, I mean, all things where you go like, is America ready for an Asian president?
Yo, you know, it's so funny. And I know that, and it's so weird. My feelings is like this, and I'm pretty sure that this went back to like the way people felt in the 50s and 60s about black people. I said myself, I don't know if America ready for no last name Yang. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe he need to switch that, but that was me, and I wasn't trying to be insulted or anything, but that's just how I felt. But you know what? There probably is going to come a time where America is going to be ready for that, because we forget what American is. We look at your face. You know what I'm saying? If you guys slanted eyes, I know this sounds crazy like this. Nah, there's no way that nigga can be American. He was born here.
Yeah.
He's as much American. I think once we get to a point where we really identify what an American is, for the most part, American now, if you want to really bust it down, is black and white. You know?
It sounds like it when you talk about issues in this country, the ones that people care most about, it seems to be our black. Like I know they're going through this big Armenia thing, and a war or something. I forget what it is, but everyone's like protesting in LA, and there's big billboards. And then you talk about like the Israel rights and with Judaism and Jewish people. But when it comes down to it, when you talk about black people, everyone in this country seems to go, all right, that's important, you know?
Yeah. Well, now but it took years to get to that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it wasn't like that at first. Black people had to go through a lot of shit before people started to care. Like even I said, you know, as much as people want to, some black people want to shit on white people, I tell people the civil rights movement needed white people because they wasn't giving black people marching permits back then. Imagine me and you go down to City Hall right in the 60s, right, Bert? And you're standing beside me and I want a motherfucking marching permit. And they be like, you don't get your black ass out of my face. And then you just clear your throat like, I'd like to marching permit. They was like, here you go, Mr. Kreischer. Do you need any for your other friends? But what I tell you, the most thing about this whole election and everything, and when it comes to Trump fans, one thing I can say about Trump fans, they know how to make a flag.
Man.
Yo, they got the biggest flag. I don't know if they just cornered the market, Bert, but when it comes to flags, yo, I was Midwest, man. You know, you travel a lot. You hit those places where people got F-150s and Toyota Tundras and shit. Yeah. Man, they got these fucking like 10 feet tall Trump flags, and the trucks are fast because to get that shit to wave in the wind, you got to be busting about 80 degrees, right? And I compared to Trump flags, and I could barely even find a Black Lives Matter handkerchief, bro. Those shit small as shit. We got to step. We want our movement to move further, son. First rule of business, buy bigger flags, son.
It's weird because as a white dude, you can sometimes navigate the waters of like, if someone says a racist joke, you don't have to call them out. You can kind of just be like, whatever, and then walk away. Like it's a weird thing. And and we were in Arizona and we were on a boat, and our best friends are Asian, and we were with them and their family and me and my wife and our kids. And we pulled up a beach, and everyone in their boats had Trump flags out. And it was weird for the first time to be like, I can't.
I'm home. No.
Beat it, Asians. Get out of here.
Get out of here. Beat it, you Yangs.
I caught them. They're here.
Yeah.
But it's bizarre, man.
I tell you, this is the thing, Bert. And like so many people have so many reasons to be upset with both sides. You know, the unfortunate thing about it, and it's evident with the way these votes are coming in, whatever, is how, you know, a presidency could like really, really rip America apart, like really separate it. That's the thing that is just so decisive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe a good president is a good president. To be honest, you got a president's a Republican that cares about everybody, not just the people that voted for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it may sound so simple the way I'm saying it, but, you know, it's just dividing, man. Just the hate and just the energy, man. You know, like I don't remember an election where people had so much emotional connection to an election. It's mostly like, he didn't win. But now it's like certain people, if Donald Trump runs the table, bruh, and I'm gonna be honest, bruh, I ain't counting that motherfucker out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I look like when I watch this shit now? All I keep reminding myself of is when the Patriots came back on the Atlanta Falcons, bro. That Super Bowl, they were dancing, they was moonwalking, they was doing TikToks and everything, son. They was going viral. And them motherfuckers said, we'll see. And that motherfucker, I believe that Donald Trump called Tom Brady in the locker room at halftime, right? And Tom Brady said, Don, it's not going to happen. And Donald Trump said, fake news. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then he gave him a pat on the back, son. And he went out there and fucked them motherfuckers up.
It's crazy. It's on my birthday. My birthday is November 3rd. It was on Tuesday. And someone
it's so fucked up. I'm the interrupter, but it's so fucked up. Because you can't normally, like, when someone's birthday, you see him in like a Speedo. It's like, oh, he must be celebrating his birthday. Yeah. That's so much a part of your normal shit. Like, I didn't even know it was your birthday. I thought you had a movie coming out.
Yeah. Someone said to me, wow, man, this really sucks that your birthday is on election day. Has it always been this rough? And I went, no, never, ever has election day been more like, hey, everyone brace for the riots. Like, it's usually everyone's like, you vote, and if your guy doesn't win, you're like, God damn it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, I remember when Clinton ran, and everyone in my fraternity voted for Bush, and I voted for Clinton. And I remember everyone, you bust balls, but no one got into a fist fight that night.
No, they didn't. But then also, you couldn't. He didn't feel like he was dividing the country. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I think.
It never made you feel like I only care about these people. Everybody else can get my dick. That's the thing that's so uncomfortable for people. That's one of the biggest things. Like, but also tell people that, that guy's not a typical politician, man. Not that I'm a Trump supporter or anything, but business people, most successful business people, man, don't care about. They don't really have a personal connection to too much.
Yeah.
Most they shrewd, most of them. You're lucky if you get a Mark Cuban or somebody like that that's like, you feel them to have heart. For the most part, they don't give a fuck. For the most part, it's about money. It's why they can work with it. That's why people talk all this shit. I'm like, you know how many, Donald Trump is racist. You know how many black millionaires work with racist white billionaires? A lot. Because their bottom line.
It's called the Clippers.
Yeah. Because their bottom line is fucking money and what gets it done. Yeah. And I honestly believe, and it's still dirty, it's still fucked up, that Donald Trump just represents a lot of people around him. Steve Bannon, those dudes, that security guy. He represents a lot of people that's around him. And I believe they're like, yo, this is how we push the dial. This is how people respond. Okay, never say Black Lives Matter. Guess what? My base is going to be so amped for that shit. They love it when I don't say Black Lives Matter. So I really believe a lot of things he do is because he thought he figured out what excites his base. But fuck it. It is what it is. How you been, son?
I've been good, man. I just had a weird. My bus driver's black, and he dressed all in red. And I'd never experienced any gang life or anything. He's dressed head to toe in red, which I just thought was a silly outfit. I was like,
that's the white. That's the white in you.
I was like, Jesus Christ, man, you look like a flag. And so, and then all of a sudden, these car full of black dudes pulled up and checked him. Like, what? Like, I don't know.
Wrong colors.
Yeah. I was with 4 other white dudes and him, and he was very calm to it. And I had never I didn't realize that stuff was real. That it is
real. It is real, but then the crazy thing, you say you didn't know it's real. It is real, but like at our age, it shouldn't be real. You know what I'm saying?
He's my age.
That's what I'm saying. At our age, it shouldn't be real anymore. It shouldn't be like, at our age, if we was affiliated with that shit, we would have seen enough unnecessary deaths. We would have seen enough fathers being pulled away from their families for years, being incarcerated. And our age, like, I just really think, man, if you're at our age or you're gangbanging, bad choices. Bad choices.
Like, so did they have that when you were growing up in Baltimore? Did they have that?
When I grew up between DC and Alexandria, but we didn't have like we had gangs, but we didn't have like the Bloods and the Crips. We had neighborhoods for some reason versus another neighborhood. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like in DC, it's like 7 and 0 motherfuckers didn't fuck with 6 and 0 motherfuckers. 9th Street motherfuckers didn't fuck with 10th Street motherfuckers. I'm like, it's one street, guys. We gotta think bigger. We gotta think bigger than that. Can we get on the Peter Pan Trailway and go to New York, man? It's other streets, you know. And it's like it was so funny, but a lot of times, Bert, that's small-minded, and that's for people that don't get opportunity to travel, don't get opportunity to do something else, don't get opportunity to see the world or look at, like when I first moved from Alexandria, Virginia, which is in the suburbs of DC, I moved to DC. I moved to New York. I didn't even know I had a country accent because I was living in it. And I would always blow myself. If I had to meet somebody, they'd be like, where you want me? I'd be like, wait, they'd be like, where you want me to meet you? I'm like, I'm on Houston Street, right? They're like, you mean Houston? Bitch, that shit been Houston my whole
Houston.
Fucking life.
It says Houston.
You know? And it's not until you go away. And like, people used to say, you was country. I'm like, I ain't country. But I look at how close I was to Baltimore, how close I was to DC, and the accents aren't too far apart. And we're talking only like the Baltimore Beltway. You can go through DC, Maryland, and Virginia in a total of 20 minutes. So if you could do that, cultures and stuff don't change too much. You are a country motherfucker.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't realize I was from the South until I moved to New York. And everyone's like, and I remember saying like, y'all. And someone was like, what?
Yo, hey, Bert, you did what I did. Did you have to, it will force you to change your diction and shit, right? I was like, every. I used to be like, and people used to be like, what? And then that's how, you know what? That's how people get accents. You know what I'm saying? Because only thing you want to do is be able to communicate with somebody without them having to say, what? Yeah,
exactly. So wait, did you go to New York before you were you were in the Marines, right?
Air Force.
Yeah. How old were you when you joined the Air Force?
Well, you mean how old was I when my mother signed the permission shit for me to die for my fucking country? My mom ain't shit, son. I had to enlist at 17. Listen, Bert, I was under the age to enlist. I had to get a note from my mom for me to enlist. That's how young I was, 17 years old. Yep.
And so were you graduating high school already?
Yeah, I graduated. I graduated. I had that summer. And I think that fall, I went in the military, 17 years old, fucking barely had pubic hair on my dick, son. I looked like at 17, I looked like I was like 12 and 13.
You look young as shit. I seen that picture.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Did you have to do basic training and stuff? And then did you go to Korea?
Yeah, basic training. But Air Force, any other branch would tell you, the Air Force basic training is real pussy. Like, people were so fucking shitted on us. They call us the chair force. They called us civilians with uniforms. But I went to basic training. I was only down there, like 30 days of basic training. And then you go to the training for whatever job you signed up for. So right after I went to basic training, I had to go to the military's equivalent of police academy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And then and then how old were you when you were in Korea? I think I just turned 18. Oh. And then it was so funny because I went over there, you know, you get like when you want liquor, they had a liquor store, with a commerce, whatever they call, I can't remember. But they had to ration it off because they didn't want to contribute to the black market. So you had like 4 units you can get. 1 unit is a case or a fifth, right? So you can either get 4 cases or you can get 2 fifths, 2 cases. You can break it down any kind of way you want. And I wasn't a drinker at the time. And I knew I was like this. This is how dumb I was. I was 18. No, I might've been 17 when I got there. Whatever it was, I wasn't 21. So they was like, how do you want us to break up your rations, Aaron Rawlings? I said, no, you can get that to somebody else. I'm too young to drink. They was like, motherfucker, you in the military. No drinking age over here. That's when I began my turn up, son. But
I didn't even know how to buy liquor, Bert. I went to and bought some. You know how they have those mixes for margaritas and shit? They look like a fifth.
Yeah.
I put that shit up there all tough, son. I was like, yeah, let me get that lemon lime margarita shaved ice. But yeah, it was.
By the way, Snoop did that. I went to do a shot with Snoop, and he pulled out a bottle of mixer, and I was like, "Hey, there's no alcohol in that." And he was like, "I don't drink much," and I was like, "No shit."
And he probably got a fucking buzz with that 2%. Snoop probably could get fucked up off of White Claws, bro.
Yeah, he's not a drinker at all, man. I asked him. I said, "Why don't you?" And he goes, he said, "I was drunk on stage one time, and I thought I don't ever want that to happen again. So I don't like being out of control." I was like, "That dude smokes blunts from the second he wakes up."
The funniest time was when he went through a change where he was quitting smoking. Yeah. Yo, he don't even know Vegas had odds on how long that shit was gonna last. They was like, everybody said, yo, Snoop quit smoking. Them niggas with their bookies like this. I got 500 to 1 that Snoop's be smoking in 2 weeks. All right, I get 400 to 1. I know they was making side bets on him, bro. But he's a dope guy.
He's the best. He really is the best. I feel like he's one of those guys I want to stay friends with, so I don't blow his phone up much. I'm like, I don't even call him at all. I was like, if I run into him, I want to be able to him not be like, oh fuck, here's that guy.
Yo, that's so funny you said that, man. Because somebody interviewed me the other day, and they was asking me. They always go back to Chappelle show, right? And they were talking about
it's on Netflix. It just got on Netflix.
I heard that. Now I'm gonna look like I got old quick as shit. But somebody said, so did you and Dave? I said when we used to do that show, I said when we did Chappelle show, I didn't have Dave Chappelle's phone number.
Really?
I had Neil Brennan's phone number.
Yeah.
And I kept it like you know me, son. I'm not like no ass kisser. And the only time I really want to like be real honest, if I had to pick somewhere where you had to like me or appreciate me, I always want it to start from stage. Like even with my comedian buddies, like the guys that I'm the closest with are people that share the same work ethics. You know what I mean? To think like me. It's never the hacky, wacky comic, son. You know? Yeah. So that's just, yep.
It's funny because I was thinking walking back, I just had tacos with my daughters and my buddies. And I was walking back and I thought, honestly, me, you, Chappelle, Michelle, Wolf, Mo Amer, Dave Williamson, Jesus Trejo. We've been on the only comics that have gotten on stage regularly. I've been doing these. You guys have been going on every fucking night.
Yo, and it was so funny because I was saying to myself, because I was saying like, who's doing it? But I already knew, like, and this is the thing that I respect about you and your work ethics. And what people don't understand is like when you have to pivot. You know what I'm saying? Like for every show people see you do, son, or produce or whatever, they don't know the nose. It wasn't ready. No, sorry, looking for a skinnier dude. You know what I'm saying? All that type of shit. So when you can tell certain people have certain characters, like when this shit hit, I was like this. That shit ain't gonna stop Bert. That nigga, I said that nigga will figure something out, son. Yeah. And I was like this. Wait a minute, this motherfucker's doing this shit during the goddamn pandemic, right? Like, no shirt, no bra, no mask, right?
I'll tell you what, I was jealous because your setup, that Yellow Springs looked amazing.
It was amazing. What you did looked amazing. But what was amazing, Bert, is that I felt this when I came back to LA. Not too many people work out, and I found out Irvine was doing the drive-in show. So I did one, but I wasn't really excited about the drive-ins because, it's already one thing dealing with hecklers, but dealing with a heckler with a horn, you know what I mean? But the thing that I appreciate, and I know this goes to say what we did in Yellow Springs, what you did on the road, is that we gave people some hope. We gave people an opportunity to feel somewhat normal. We gave people, however the show lasts, we gave them an escape. You know what I'm saying? It was like when those people get those pickup trucks and back them up and they got those coolers and they doing BYOB, they didn't just walk past Sunset at the Comedy Store and say, hey, let me see jokes. They planned that shit.
Yeah.
So it was like, and then like you said, we were like, I was doing 4 shows a week.
It's amazing.
4 shows a week. And here's the catcher. Every week it was like, and I'm talking about shared the stage with David Letterman, Chris Rock, Bill Burr, Kevin Hart, Jon Stewart, Michelle Wolf, Mo Hammer,
Bill Burr.
goddamn it, Bill Burr. I mentioned Bill Burr, Bob Saget, Chris Tucker, Louis C.K. Like it was
insane. So what was it? Because I dug when Burr came back. I dug deep, but Burr keeps everything close to the vest and was like, he's like, I don't even want to talk about Chappelle's motorcycles. I'm obsessed with motorcycles. But like,
oh my God, yo, Chappelle's I think
quiver.
I think I'm not a real motorcycle guy, but everybody that's a motorcycle guy, when they come out of his garage and look at the rockets he got, their dick is hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, like all I know, I saw Ducati this, Ducati that, Spider this, and they was the motherfucking joints that require you to have perfect posture on them shit, son.
I'd like to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Whoop. Look, a lot of us are trying to get back at it, working on our health and our fitness. There's a lot of challenges for us making it happen right now. Some people are able to work with personal trainers, my wife included, but not everyone has access to that or has time for that or can afford that. Whoop is the most powerful fitness membership you can find, and it's here to help with that. Whoop is a fitness tracker that literally is like having a personal trainer on your wrist for less than $1 a day. It's one of the only fitness wearables that helps quantify how well I'm performing, sleeping, and recovering. I use it to track key metrics like my heart rate variability, resting heart rate, respiratory rate, and my sleep. But what's more important is I really like having the personal trainer that knows so much about me, because when I wake up, I get a recovery score, and that recovery score lets me know how well my body is ready to perform or if it needs more rest. You also get a target exertion goal aimed on your recovery, so you know how hard you can push your workouts. And based on how intense your day is, you know how much you need to sleep to recover that night. Whoop is the best fitness tracker and membership I've ever seen, ever used. I absolutely could not do anything without it. For just $30 a month, you get personalized insights 24/7 that quantify the data to help you better understand your body on a deeper level. Whoop goes beyond just tracking calories and heart rate, people. It monitors sleep, strain, and recovery with personalized feedback in real time with their app. That is the big reason I recommend anyone trying to get in shape or just trying to build better, healthier habits in general, use Whoop. And for all my listeners today, Whoop is offering 15% off all memberships. Give Whoop a shot. And if it's not for you, they're going to offer you a 30-day return policy, no questions asked. Just head over to whoop.com. That's WHOOP.com and enter Bert, B-E-R-T, at checkout to save 15% off. Join Whoop today. Sleep better, recover faster, and train smarter. This podcast is brought to you by Theragun. The stress of daily life weighs down on all of us. And whether you're an elite athlete like myself or just a regular person like Tom Segura, trying to get through the day, muscle pain, muscle tension, it's a real thing. I know for a fact sitting like this in this chair doing podcasts all day and taking meetings has really messed up my lower back and my sciatic nerve. And I'm telling you, that's why I use Theragun. I do it every day. I have my wife zhuzh me. This handheld percussive therapy device releases your deepest muscle tension with a scientifically calibrated combination of depth, speed, and power. And now, as quiet as an electric toothbrush, because the all-new Theragun 4, Generation 4 Theragun, has a proprietary brushless motor that is so quiet, you can do it while your wife's asleep. You'll wonder if it's even on, while soothing your aching muscles with the Theragun's power, amplitude, and effectiveness. We brought it on the road with us because sleeping in bunks after a while starts to wear on your body. And we were on the road for like 23 days. And I'm telling you, at the end, every night, we would zhuzh each other's butts and legs, lower legs. It's the best. And our necks, I do my necks and my shoulders were really tight. Try the Theragun risk-free for 30 days. There's no substitute for the Theragun Generation 4 with a OLED screen, personalized Theragun apps, and the quiet and power you need. Starting at only $199. Go to Theragun.com/Bertcast right now to get your Generation 4, your Gen 4 Theragun today. That's Theragun.com/Bertcast. Theragun.com/Bertcast. So what was it like? You guys did Dave hit you up and be like, "Yo, why don't you come hang out here?" Or were you guys on the road? How did Michelle, you and Mo end up in Yellow Springs?
The way it started was, nobody knew how to accept COVID. Nobody knew what the protocol was be. Nobody knew what it was going to be for the injury, for performing and everything. But we knew something in America that was happening that was weird, that would probably compromise us being performers, compromising us being able to socialize with each other. So it pretty much started where Dave was quarantined with like 10 of probably his closest friends in Yellow Spring. It's a small community. And I think what happened was he got bored with the 10 people he was hanging out with and just needed a new rotation, right? That motherfucker just want to hang out. He's like this, yeah, I'm sick of your shit, Paul, right? Yeah. So, but at the same time, he was always figuring out how he's going to get on stage. And he was even talking about, man, fuck this shit. We might have to go Fight Club style, like some type of underground comedy club. But you're Dave Chappelle, you can't hide. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna find out. And then as it started going on, motherfuckers just started like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What can we do? And one of his closest friends out there, Steve Wiring, he owns a pavilion that they do like weddings and stuff like that. So Dave had the idea to trick it out, not too much, a couple of Jumbotron. You know this production shit because you do this all the time. You go to one spot, it looks like one thing to the average eye, but then when you like, oh shit, the helicopter pad right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and then he built it. At the first time he did it is when he did that 846, 847. People call it a special. I call it a conversation with America.
Yeah.
And if, people are so critical that, they're like, well, it wasn't one of his funny specials. I'm like, nigga, that was not supposed to be funny. That was a conversation that a motherfucker could throw a little joke up in there to ease it up, but it wasn't about how funny it was.
Well, he has a very unique platform in that a lot of fucking white people listen to him probably more than they listen to anyone. Like a lot because of the Chappelle show and because of his stand-up and because of like his approach and his honesty. And like, I think people kind of trust him that he's not gonna,
a lot of white people, they look at him. I know this sounds crazy. And I think some white folks sometimes, with a level of success a black person gets, it's more accepting. Like, I don't even see him as being black anymore. You know what I'm saying? But that motherfucker is one of the blackest motherfuckers I know. And but he don't have to, some people got to wear their black on their sleeve all day. Yeah. You see the stripe? It's like they got to prove something. He doesn't do that. You know what I'm saying? He's so calm and he can communicate in a way where people, when he do his shows, man, 60 of the motherfuckers is Trumpers.
Yeah.
So every once in a while you get a couple pop out of there that can't take it, but he has a way of communicating his thoughts where it's easy to understand and he can make some rationale out of it and put jokes with it too.
And I think it's a little bit like jazz too, like where I don't know. And what's so funny is that this and I know this because we've been in the game for so long, but he wasn't always like he used to be a lot more jokier, like his older specials, a lot more like stand up, and then all of a sudden he pivoted. I want to say when he did that Bird special.
Yeah, but you know what, Bert? See, the thing is, here's the thing: we know him as a young Dave, and then we know him as an older Dave, and for the most part, almost all. Me and you might be the last ones that's never going to grow up, right? But we grow up different ways. We grow up different ways. But that's what it's like. Chelsea Handler got a new special called Evolution, and I like this. I really like this special because I saw it. But motherfuckers evolve. Different people come in their life. Yeah. You have situations that you have to make decisions on, like the Comedy Central situation to deal with him. And I always say, like, Dave is he's like the Muhammad Ali of comedy, right? And when I say that, we all have good sets. We all have a joint like, oh, he's on popping. We motherfuckers make money, whatever. But it's not too often in your career that you have to make a defining moment. And when I say that's when you got to put everything up to the table, Bert, you know what I'm saying? Integrity, money, morals, all that type of shit, and what you want to go for. You know what I'm saying? That is part of what makes Dave Chappelle who he is, and that's what makes him so much of a, like, he only does it his way.
Yeah, he does. You know, I got to be honest with you. I felt like, when I got so many people telling me not to do drive-ins, like so many people were like, dude, you're fucking your career up. Like this, like I just giving me like notes on shit where I go, you shouldn't give me notes. Like, let me do things my way. You do things
Bert,
your way.
but guess what, Bert? I'm going to tell you this. When I came back to LA, now I'm coming off of doing 4 shows a week, right? I come back to LA, and then just by force of habit, you got to drive the Strip and see Marquee, what's open or whatever. And I go to the Comedy Store. I don't know if last time you've been there, but they're doing like, it's from the window now. That window, the OR. And we was doing shows like 500-600 people every night. It's just still in a cornfield, but it's still a live audience. Yeah. I went from that to like, they was like, that window don't allow you to, your ear doesn't connect with the audience. You got to look at their face. And I hear so many comedians say the same shit, Bert. They say, oh, that's not comedy. I don't know. You can't connect. I'm like, listen, bro, I love doing this shit. If the tide turns, if I got to flip it up, I got to flip it up. And I went on stage that night, Bert, and I was like, one of the reasons I went on stage, son, because I was like this, ooh, there's a strong chance that you could bomb because you're handicapped right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're swimming in overalls.
It's like, it's what's wrong with swimming in overalls? No, I'm joking. but it's like going up there, I knew that it wasn't set up for me to win.
Yeah.
And the only people that win are the motherfuckers that know how to win. And I assessed the situation. I started roasting them, got to it. I got them there. But I'm like this, how we going to stay sharp, son? How we going to stay sharp? So now we're in a pandemic. You got to be specific to your needs to perform as a stand-up motherfucker. Go out to a beach, nigga. Go out to a beach. Go out to a beach and do some street comedy. Start with one motherfucker. If you want, what are you going to do? I quit comedy because there was no 2-drink minimum and there wasn't a red light in the back. What you going to do?
It's funny because I got so many notes on people saying shit to me, like people that I respect. But it was funny because you guys were up there doing it in a field and they were like, well, Chappelle's the GOAT. He can do whatever he wants. He always, and I was like, well, no, we all can do whatever we want. We can all take a look at Dave and then go take a page out of his book and go, he's doing it his way. Let me do it my way. And it was funny. I really felt like I kept up watching you guys because I was like, man, it looked so fun. But
let me tell you, Bert, the performance was one thing, Bert.
Yeah.
But we created a bubble. We had one of the leading.
He must have paid through the nose. You guys were getting tested every fucking other day.
Yo, I would say easily over $300,000.
Easily.
And it was like the people saw that part was dope, the performance. But the best part, bro, was being in the bubble, being around friends. He got a little speakeasy, his own little joint we go to, having fun. Yo, I became the river ninja out that bitch, son. I was sponsoring. Yo, I was doing all this shit. I know, like, you know what coarse rivers there are and all that type of shit, right?
Yeah.
I was fucking taking people on the river. We was having barbecues. The community of Yellow Springs was so supportive of everything. Not everybody. Not going to please everybody. But it just was so much camaraderie. Like, a couple of my friends, we're between New York and LA. And people have been back since Yellow Springs. And everybody's like, got to get on the phone. It's like, yeah, man, I think I'm ready to go back to Yellow Springs. And nothing wrong with it.
Perfect, because the whole world's in chaos. The whole world's locked down. And then you guys created a bubble where you were performing, partying. Everyone was eating great. Like, I want to talk to you about your cooking out there because your cooking was like next level. Like,
oh, thanks, man.
I want to talk to you about those river trips because Bert said you had it. Bert said you were like the master of ceremonies out there for everyone. And I want to talk about the talent that showed up that performed that wasn't famous. Like some of the talent you guys had come out there. Like I'm obsessed with Toby Ngugwe. I think I'm saying his right name right.
Yeah, but those was like, I don't even take. I say the Nigerian motherfucker. Keep it real. Yeah, but it was the thing about it is one thing about Dave. He's a magnet for the best people wanting to share the stage with him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm to be quite honest, I didn't know anything about Toby. And the thing that I thought the dude was about to tell some jokes because his personality on stage is so funny or whatever. But only thing I knew was it was a dude that just had a baby and another baby. And he had that goddamn baby everywhere he went, Bert. Everywhere he went, he had that goddamn baby. Golf cart, goddamn baby. And he went up there, and then he just mesmerized the audience. And this is how I know he's a top performer, because I know that there was a lot of people in the audience wasn't familiar with him.
Yeah.
You know, and some people could be like, oh, you don't know my song? Fuck y'all. But he just started spitting, son, and just made everybody come with it. Like Talib Kweli was there. Fucking Erykah Badu, fucking Common was there. Questlove was there. I remember the first time Questlove, first time he played drums after, during the pandemic, was the Yellow Springs. And the crazy thing was, when it was time for him to go on, he sat down in his drum set and whatever, and he didn't have his sticks. And I'm like, somebody is fucking fired, right? I was like, there's no way. I'm just trying to point to who's going home, right? Because that's the one person, Bert, you'd be like, you had one job, right? and this is what I'm talking about, defining moment. He could have been like, do you know who I am? I'm Questlove, whatever. You know what he did? He did like this. And then he started playing the drums. He started playing with his hands, son.
Really?
And like, you couldn't hear it like that, but it was like he was in his zone. I was like, oh shit. I said, he just bought some time for somebody. Somebody's getting their job back.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. And then they found this stick. I was like, thank God. And then when that motherfucking snare came in on that mic, bow, it was on, bro.
What a fucking, how cool is it? And not to like, look, I think when you're white, you get a lot of advantages in life. But one of the things you can't get is like, there is a immediate camaraderie with that group where you talk about artists who all happen to be of the same color, of the same culture, and all respect each other. It almost is like, and it goes back to when Chappelle did the block party, it goes back to like almost like a club that you can't join, you got to be born into in a weird way.
You got to be, you can like the way it's almost like getting into Comedy Cellar. There's always a new energy on the outside, but Comedy Cellar, 2 references, so for Essie don't have to do all that type of shit. And those mostly character references, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you get in it by like some guys as close to me that's like really cool with Dave now. It's just positive energy, just attracts itself.
Like Talib Kweli, Erykah Badu, Common, Questlove, you, Chappelle, Toby. Like, as much as you'd want to say that like Bill Burr's out there hanging out, there's still a frequency that as Black artists, you guys all vibrate on and connect on, in that, like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like Dave has known Talib Kweli for like 20 years. Like, you've known
easily. Yeah.
20 years. Like, you guys have known Erykah Badu. Like, I often like get jealous that like when you talk to Snoop and he talks about hip hop, there's like such a very coarse fiber of like ingrained in just who they are. Like, Snoop's family is like Brandy, the fucking guy with the big dick. What's the guy?
His son?
Ray J.
Right. Oh, you said guy with it. Only white people can remember a time and by somebody's dick. Like, fuck, that was 1997, because remember the guy with the big dick.
Yeah. But it's like, it's really interesting to me that Chelsea Handler, who I think is awesome, may go out, but for whatever reason, I assume, and I could be wrong, she's never going to vibe with Common and Erykah Badu and Talib Kweli and you and Dave and Questlove and Toby and all these guys the same way that maybe Tiffany Haddish would, where Tiffany...
Oh, I beg to differ with you on that one, son, because fucking boy, me and Chelsea party like a motherfucker. I was like, go black bitch. Yo, fuck that. She fucked 50, son. She used to it, right?
I forgot. It was all time. Yeah, that one had to remind 50 he was black.
Yeah, exactly. Motherfucking fucking Chelsea is one of the blackest women I fucking know, son. But she, you know what? She got a good vibe. When she came out, man, we had so much. She had to go campaign because she was campaigning hard for Biden. Or not, I don't know if it's Biden, more so like anti-Trump. But and I used to do her show, but never got a chance to hang out with her. And I'm telling you, man, I want to hang out with her a lot. You know what I mean?
I think first of all, I think she's sexy as fuck.
Who you tell them? They get mad at me, son. She said, yo, I got this river belt, right? Oh, man, the things that we talked about, what I'm supposed to do with this river belt, Yo, I'll tell you. Yeah, Chelsea, boy. In the streets, as we say, the streets said she could get it. I would do everything to blow that bitch back out, son. Blow the back out, son.
Yeah, I had a crush on Chelsea. Not like, but not I say crush, but like same with like, dude. I'll tell you who as a street say could get it is I think Janine Garofalo's sexy too. Sarah Silverman, whatever.
Yeah, but I don't think you could get the right mental connection with Janine. You gotta.
I could. I could if she was still drinking. I could.
Oh, you can't do that. You gonna delete that, son? Yo, we all did that.
No, I know that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
Stop the tape, son. Don't do it, son. You got too much intellectual properties. You got too many intellectual properties, son.
And then if we can go out drinking and have a good time.
I know what you're talking about. But that's old-fashioned, Bert. That's old-fashioned, Bert. You can't even do that.
Oh.
Yeah, but it would be, I think.
About funny women that it makes them sexier than regular women.
But Chelsea, like, I know this sounds crazy. She might appreciate this. She seems so pornographic. She's like, when I Google, like, certain Google searches you can't do anymore. You know what I mean? It just, like when I do like she's up in that MILF, like MILF, like professor, all that type of shit. And then she take that goddamn romper off and it's like, okay, Miss Handler.
Dude, she's still like, she's perimenopausal, I'm sure. She's got to be soon to hit menopause. And her body still looks super fucking young. I mean, she posts a lot of pictures of herself naked on Instagram.
You have a problem with that? Why you act like
not at all? Not at all.
You said that like, who does that? I'm like, you motherfucker.
I post a lot too naked.
Yeah, she pull them titties out in a minute.
She will. She has no problem with that. But I remember the first time I saw her do stand up at the Improv. She was so direct. I remember like her just coming up and like literally. Two women have done this in stand-up to me where they came up to me and they owned the moment by like touching me or getting close to me. And it was Chelsea and Whitney Cummings. Both of them. Just where I was like, I literally just kind of like, I'd stopped speaking and it was almost like they just took my energy. Like they just walked up. Chelsea
That's how it was.
Yeah.
For me, I feel the same way for me because when she used to do her talk show on E or whatever, you don't really get, it's always, how production is. It's like, we got to practice this tonight. So never had a real conversation. Just always could tell she had respect for me. But I don't know, something about Yellow Springs, like her looking me like directly in my face and having like casual, that's one thing that was so dope about being out there. Just the regular conversations when David Letterman was there one night, right? And I do this joke about being an older dad. And I didn't know Letterman was in because we were out there when he did a thing that his show with him. And I didn't know that Letterman was in the green room. And I come on stage, first person I run into is Letterman. And I'm like, oh shit. And then he said, how old are you? Then I told him, because he really connected with that joke I did about being an older dad, right? Yeah. And me and fucking David Letterman backstage talking for like 15 minutes on being a dad. It wasn't about structure of a joke or anything. And it was just like, what's the important thing in life? And we both agreed that that's the most important thing. And it happened for him a lot later than it did for me. But the pride and the joy he had in his face about being a father, man, it was just fucking overwhelming, man. That was another great moment.
Yeah, you guys had, I mean, tell me about the river. Because it seemed like you were really, like you guys called it the Chappelle summer camp. But it really looked like a summer camp. Did you guys go to the river every day?
Well, we probably did like twice a week. I went for the first time. I wasn't with these river trips. Dave's wife used to plan all these activities and shit like family walk. I'm like, fuck that shit. Then one day she said, we're going to go kayaking. And I went. And I was going down the kayak. I was in my kayak. And this white dude named Patrick Lake, he was in the other kayak. And we're smoking a joint. And we could just hear the peacefulness of nature. And he was like, this is what it's all about, bro. And I said, well, he said, man, this reminds me of being with my dad, building ramps and fishing for crawdads. I was like, I didn't do none of that shit with my dad, but this is going to remind me of what I want to do with my son. Yeah. And it was in that moment where I really, really, really got connected to nature, the piece of it. Because we first went down there. We went down there hood. We had fucking Bluetooth speakers and all that type shit. But you can't really we was going down there listening to Pop Smoke and everything. But then it was just like this connection. And then I started planning more of the river rides. It went from like 15 people to 20 people. I think the most I ever took down was like 45 people. And as the summer went on, like everybody was like, that was one of the things that they was like, yo, I want to go to the river. So I became river ninja and I was river everything. I bought fucking different shoes. I got quick dry pants, kayak shoes, bruh. I almost bought a goddamn canoe, nigga. Almost bought a motherfucking canoe, son. But it was just, and that was another thing that was so dope about the summer is that we got to enjoy life. It was like adults reminiscing with their childhood, taking it back.
This podcast is brought to you by Miller High Life. Miller High Life This podcast is brought to you by Miller High Life. Miller High Life brings pride to the simple things in life. Miller High Life is an unpretentious quality beer with refreshing champagne like tiny bubbles in an iconic glass bottle, accessible to everyone. Celebrate the wins you have every day with Miller High Life. Look, if they're big or small, there are moments in every day worth celebrating. Today, I'm celebrating doing 2 Bears, 1 Cave and having a great show. And I will do so tonight by grilling out and opening a Miller High Life, the champagne of beers, a high-quality beer that I know is within everyone's reach. Their founders believe that everyone should enjoy the good life, which is why they created the champagne of beers. They are famously been known that way for over 100 years. And I love that this company started on New Year's Eve, 1903. I know what I'll be drinking this New Year's Eve. Miller High Life, the champagne of beers, a quality beer within everyone's reach. Please celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This podcast is brought to you by Liquid IV, and I love Liquid IVs. Look, I'm a big fan of IVs, so anything that's got IV in the name, I'm there for it. In this cool weather, you don't even know if you're getting dehydrated sometimes, and which means you need to be more on top of your hydration. 1 stick of Liquid IV with 16 ounces of water gets you 3 to 2 times the amount of hydration as just plain water. And with flu season lining up for our holidays, you need to stay hydrated. But Liquid IV can help support your immune system, and by increasing your hydration and adding essential vitamins, it's perfect for staying hydrated. I am traveling nonstop. I am always hungover. And I'm telling you, Liquid IV is the best cure for that I have ever found. And they have 3 new flavors: guava, watermelon, and apple pie. I tried one the other day before my workout, tossed in 16 ounces of water, threw some ice in it, shook it up hard, and guzzled it. The 3 new flavors, sweet and juicy guava, crisp watermelon, comforting apple pie, contain this 5 essential vitamins: more vitamin C than the average orange and more potassium than the average banana. Healthier than the sugary sports drinks with no artificial flavors or preservatives, and less sugar than an apple, made clean with great clean ingredients, non-GMO, vegan, free of gluten and dairy and soy. The optimal ratio of glucose, sodium, and potassium delivers water and nutrients directly into the bloodstream. It's a perfect balance, if you're going to ask me, to get you hydrated quickly and effectively, better so than water. Just 1 stick gives you literally 2 to 3 times the amount than you get in plain water. The company has donated over 6.7 million servings globally in response to the COVID-19. The products are now being donated to hospitals, first responders, food banks, veterans, and the active U.S. military. Over 3 million servings in total so far. Liquid IV is available nationwide at Walmart in the beverage section. That's where we picked up ours on the road. I noticed it and I went, wait, they're a sponsor of the podcast. So we got ours at Walmart in the beverage section. Or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the promo code Bert at checkout. That is 25% off anything you order when you use the promo code Bert at checkout at liquidiv.com. Get better hydration today at liquidiv.com. Use the promo code Bert. That's so great. What's you don't have to answer this, but what's Chappelle's wife like? I think
she's amazing.
I saw her on Instagram a couple times, but
she's amazing. I'm telling you,
for a while though, right?
Yeah, I've known her for a while. She's amazing. Not only do I think she's amazing, I really believe that she contributes so much to his success.
Really?
As a supporter, as a mom, you know how it is. if your home ain't right and if your wife not doing the right thing with the kids, whatever, and you got to stress about that, any relationship, they go ups and down. I don't know stories of them, not connecting, but you can tell when someone says someone's backbone that you can feel that they might not always be happy with a motherfucker, but they fucking love and respect them and they believe in them. And as long as I've known them in that relationship, she's always been that person. And just like the ultimate host, she's dope.
That's crazy, man. How often did your son get up there?
Well, this summer he was out there for a total of 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was amazing, man. He started to sing Leon Bridges' Take Me to the River. He got to run on acres of land and shit with his buddies and shit, went through the woods with his shirt off, swimming. He had an amazing time. Anytime I mention Ohio, he said, Daddy, if you go back to Yellow Springs, I got to go.
That's great. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Man, that's so cool. I remember telling Snoop about it in the green room, and he was like, "They're where?" And I was like, "Oh, just FaceTime Donnell." And I FaceTime. Right. That was the funniest interaction because I FaceTimed you. Snoop grabbed it, and you saw Snoop. Then you passed it to Dave, but Snoop passed it back to me. And then Dave, I met Dave once. He's looking at me, and he's like, I don't know who the fuck you meant for me to talk to. I was like, oh, this is who you want to see. Pass it to Snoop. And then those two lit up, and me and you were in the background going
yo, that shit was dope. That shit was dope, man.
Yeah.
Snoop he's always been a fucking stand-up dude, man. He's just a he's Snoop. That's the only way you only can describe him as Snoop. Stand-up guy. And Dave was super excited. I know that you guys were talking about coming out, but it ended kind of short. It was, we ended we didn't end when we wanted to end. Yeah. But it was great, man. That was so cool that you called. She was like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Oh shit." And I know that nigga, whenever he see me, he always like, "What's up, you ashy motherfucker?" Yeah.
So, you're Leanne's favorite cast member on The Cabin.
Hey, Bert, I don't really know if I'm going to believe anything you say because I know that you're full of a lot of lies, son. And the reason why I say that, because you had that John McHale, whatever that white dude from
Joel McHale.
Yeah, and then you told, because it was a nice gesture for your wife to give us gifts, and you said, Donnell said, meet me at a Chevron gas station. You didn't think I heard that shit, motherfucker?
I can't say Jeff Will's name. You said meet me at Jeff Will's house.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, because I had already had a swim date set up for my son, and then it was a couple of the kid friends that were going to be over there. You said Chevron gas station. I wanted to say
I didn't want to blow up Jeff Will's spot, and you were like, "I'll be at Jeff Will's house at 1:25." Dan's like, "Who the fuck is Jeff Will's?" I go,
"Yeah, I know." But he likes to feel big time every once in a while. But you said Chevron, son. But you could have said Popeye's chicken. Then I would have fucked.
Oh yeah, right. I'm gonna say Popeye's chicken.
Nah, that was a nice gesture, man. That was really nice.
Yeah, she loved you, man. She said her favorite episode is you and Bobby. She goes, I love that Donnell, she goes, he would never want to do something, but then he'd do it. And she goes, that energy made me laugh so fucking hard.
Because I've been in part of situations where it's like, you can play that different ways. Like some of the shit y'all do is over the top, but it's like this for some people. But I'm like this, they having fun. I said, I don't want to just be the goddamn party pooper. When I was doing stuff for MTV, it was like that. I say, as they say, to each his own. I was like, how can I, contribute to the fun of it? But even when we talked about it, when it was over, and I told you, I said the best part for me was when you was making dinner, and we had time to reflect and talk about fatherhood, and 3 grown ass motherfuckers talking about their childhood and stuff. For me, that made the episode gold for me.
My favorite part wasn't even shown. It was when we had the seance.
I know. I was wondering what happened there, son. I was like, "This, are you going to delete it when that thing?" I was wondering about that.
She goes,
"Are you going to do any?"
Yeah. We've got that. We're going to post that. We're going to post a bunch of stuff because there's so much shit that we shot that we didn't use.
I know,
and that was so fucking hilarious.
That's the beauty of the internet now, son. Assets are motherfuckers, son. Assets. Kevin Smith taught me about assets.
Yeah, what was the movie you did with Kevin Smith?
It was Jay and Silent Bob.
Jay and Silent Bob?
Yeah, I played a detective in that, but our connection came together when we were doing this series called Hollywood. We was pitching it, and it got picked up by like one of those startup like streaming companies or whatever. Then they had some internal issues, and it didn't really. It just got stuck. But when we first dropped that, Snoop, and I didn't even ask him to do it or anything, was one of the first people that retweeted and said, you know, if you do a movie called a show called Hollywood, and Snoop say this shit is funny, boy, that's out the gate with a bang, you know?
Damn, yeah. Fuck yeah. So wait, so what do you want to do? Like, I feel like you're in a weird position in that you're one of the few comics that have been working all through pandemic. I feel like you have steam behind you. Your podcast is blowing up. Like your social media is all over the place. Like it's doing fantastic. What do you want to do? Like right now? Do you think?
Yeah, Bert. This is the funniest thing you said. That I don't want to do anything. I'm doing it, and like when we get off this podcast, we're going to talk at some point, right? I got an idea specific to you. I'll just say it's not one to do. It's in full effect now, but it's like when this pandemic went down, Bert, I was like, you're not going to make any money as a stand-up, whatever, blah blah blah. I said, so everything you're doing now is the fucking. You're planting the seeds for 2021 and you're planting the seeds for 2022. The things that I'm doing and I got on deck, it's gonna come off next year.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing I want to do now is like just continue to work out. You know, one thing about this, I had to make that pivot from just making money from stand-up. You know what I mean? I wasn't producing stuff. I came up with the podcast last year. That's probably going to turn the corner soon. And not that I had to reinvent myself. I had to just extend myself to some other things that when you as a comic, if you got the best feeling feeling is saying, I'm booked up for the whole year.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Remember when you were young and you were like, I can't imagine what that would feel like.
Yeah, you like the whole year, nigga. I remember you could call me and say, as soon as you answer the phone, I'm like, I'm available. You know? Yeah. It wasn't no talk to nobody. So that gives you a sense of confidence until something like COVID says, wait a minute, you got to think about other shit. And that's one of the things that it's done for me is put other things in perspective and other things that I need to do, other relationships that I need to build. Like I do have, what I want to do. I want to be a black you, motherfucker. I want to be a motherfucker that can just get his friends together, have a good time, and make some fucking money, son.
Yeah, that's a fucking.
That's it.
Who's the co-host of your podcast?
What was that?
Your co-host of the podcast that you were doing in Yellow Springs.
Javanta Roberts.
Fucking awesome. I love her.
Yeah, I've been knowing her for years, man. We've been knowing each other for years, and we kind of came out to LA about the same time, and she's like a singer, dancer, song. Like she's just dope, man. And she's continues. You know, she hasn't really hit it, but her grind is fucking dope. She's got great energy.
The energy on the podcast is great together.
Yeah, if we're not fighting, but even when we're fighting, it's entertaining. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, when it's fighting, it's more. I'd say it's as entertaining.
Yeah, because you get authenticity. You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers want to be like, oh, now the podcast feels like you guys are in a relationship. I was like, okay, then that means we evoked an emotion, motherfucker. Are you gonna ride or you go somewhere else?
Yeah,
you know, that's what it is. And I said the Donnell Rawlings show. I've always said it's not a podcast; it's a reality show about a podcast.
I like it.
I know you like it, nigga. That's like your model is like every show you do could be a podcast or a show. Because it's always, I was like, this motherfucker found out another way to do a podcast, right? Yo, I was talking to my agents the other day. So they asked me the same question. What do you want to do? I said, I want to be Bert Kreischer. I want to have 5 different podcasts out of a podcast, son. I want to make a video.
A fucking podcast.
Yeah, I was like, that motherfucker, who gets paid more to talk than fucking Bert?
Do you think you'll stay in LA?
Oh no, I like the summer has shown a lot of people that we can create Hollywood wherever we descend on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It used to be like, oh yeah, and what were we what were we so anxious to be around here for, to do spots at the comedy club? I respect that and everything. But, this shit, man, I wouldn't have no problem living on a goddamn ranch. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's so funny. Chappelle did it so long ago, and everyone was like, well, he can do it. But it's the motto has always been, Chappelle's been doing his own thing forever. And everyone's like, well, that's Chappelle. He can do whatever he wants. And then you start going, oh, we can do whatever we want also. Like Rogan's in Austin now. Everyone's moving to Austin. And then you start going like, we can, you don't have to be in Hollywood. I mean, I have to because I have 2 kids in fucking high school, but.
Right. But see, that's the only thing. That's the only thing that is with me, with my young son. You know what I'm saying?
Well, how old is he? Is he 6?
5.
You can do anything with him, anywhere.
Yeah.
Live anywhere. Give him life. I said that to Segura. Segura's talking about moving to Austin. I go, I got to be honest with you, man. It's for you and your family. It's the best move you could ever make because you're going to give your children a life that's dream worthy. It's living on a lake, having a boat, fucking surfing.
Yep. And I got to swear, I'm going back to the drive-in shows. I got to do, I used for 8 years, I've done the DC Improv Thanksgiving. That's been my tradition. And I thought it was going to be over because of COVID this year, but they started to do the driving thing. So I'm going to do my traditional show, November 28th, 2 shows. And it's going to be at RFK Stadium. And the people like, stadium? I'm like, yeah, parking lot, right? Parking lot.
Awesome. That's going to be a fucking blast. You're doing it at RFK?
RFK, don't get them twisted, son. RFK parking lot, son, okay?
Hey. Me and Tom I told Tom we were doing the Rose Bowl. We did the Rose Bowl like last week. And I go, we're doing the Rose Bowl. And we get there and he goes, we're outside the Rose Bowl. I went, same. He goes,
yo, I was like that too. I'm like,
I told people in Philly, I go, we're doing the vet. And they go, they tore the vet down. I go, well, it's the parking lot the vet was in.
Yo, well, we on the same page. That's why I told you I'm gonna be the Black Bert, son. Fuck that, bitch. We doing the fucking Rose Bowl. Brand that shit. Yeah, but it's been dope, man. I'm excited about that. I'm going to I'll be at the I don't know when you drop, but I'll be at the when you drop this?
This week, Tuesday. Coming Tuesday.
Oh, next Tuesday. Yeah, so that's it. My website shit, but that's it because these dates they keep getting canceled. But as long as I can get some gigs in and shit, man, and stay creative, I'll be all right.
They're saying that that they're going to do a big lockdown. Like if Biden, when Biden and Kamala Harris are going to do another lockdown like we had in March, and we're not going outside for like 2 months.
I'll be right in Yellow Spring, bro.
Fucking, by the way.
No, I mean, I expected that. I told people the summer is create the illusion that everything is all sweet. I said, as soon as cold and flu season come back on, we're going to get jumped. We're going to get stopped down. And I said, but this is a good time right now to get in touch with your family, get all that type of shit. And what's wrong with, you know what?
My tour bus leaves. My tour bus leaves Sunday morning to go pick my parents up and bring them back out to LA. And we're going to keep my parents out in LA and then they're going to stay out here for the whole lockdown. And then when they open back up, we're going to fly them back out to LA. Someone's hanging outside the man cave, wants to say hi. Hold on. Leanne, I'm telling you, you were her favorite, Donnell.
You were my favorite.
Thank you. I can tell by that smile. That's a genuine, honest smile. I appreciate it.
It's the truth.
And I kept my clothes. Hey, look, Bert, you'll feel comfortable. I was her favorite, and I kept my clothes on. So that's a good sign right there, son. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing. Thank you for recognizing the real one. What'd you say?
I said, you don't have to be naked to be funny.
I've been trying to tell Bobby that. And then, you know what? I don't want to be funny. I don't want to be naked and funny. That's like, fuck that. If I get naked, I want, whoa, man, just turn into drama.
She kept saying, anytime he says he's not doing it, he does it. She kept saying that. Well, the first time she watched it, she goes, he says he's not going to do it, and he does it, and it was killing her, man.
I loved it. No, I'm not.
No, but I can't do it just on the first try. You got to ask me 3 or 4 times. That's the hood rules, bro.
I love that. You're like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. Okay, give me the directions. Okay.
Fire in the hole. Fire in the hole.
Funny. You were so funny and so genuine, and I loved watching you. It was really great.
Thank you. And another thing I realized over the years, like, you know, and Bert's such a good producer. It's like some of it could have been kind of weird for me, but I knew he had a vision and there was certain comedy he just had to get off. So I didn't want to be the fucking hater of it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, we'll find a way for everybody to be happy. You know?
Hey, thank you. Enjoy your show in DC at RFK.
Yeah, RFK, baby, November the 28th. Look at my new girlfriend. Look at my new baby.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, that's Maggie. Maggie's 6 months old.
Oh, Maggie's adorable.
Yeah, Maggie will be performing at RFK Stadium, right?
I'd buy tickets to Maggie.
Yeah. Hey, Bert, I'm serious. I got something I'm going to throw past you, son. All right? Yeah.
All right.
I know you got enough on your plate, whatever, but it's so funny you said, what do you want to do? And I'm like, nothing. It's going to get done. All right? That's it.
Hey, I appreciate you doing this, Donnell, man.
All right, you guys have a great day. I love you, man.
Love you too, brother. Take care.
All right. Bye, Leon.
Bye.